This is Thomas Paul's week. I'm in Istanbul, in Turkey. We are here for the Future of the Gospel Forum, where 250 leaders from all over the world meet to discuss the future of the gospel. And Pastor Ali is the host, so to speak. He represents the Alliance of Protestant Churches in Turkey, which is the Evangelical Alliance here in Turkey, which has a long history. It even goes back then more than 100 years. We have it on record that several delegations of the World Evangelical Alliance visited the Sultan in the 19th century on behalf of the Turkish Christians. And the churches here in Turkey have grown immensely the last decades. I recall it must have been
30 years, 40 years.
Yeah. So I recall that I was here for the first time, something like 1985.
Okay.
And you still had to search for the believers in the country.
Yeah.
And this has totally changed. And I'm very happy that you represent the churches here. Tell us a little bit about Turkey, about the churches here, but you're always invited to give your impression of what you think is going here in the Congress.
Thank you. First of all, I want to welcome you again.
Thank you very much.
And have you here is wonderful. It's an honor for us. And having all these brothers and sisters from all around the world is a blessing for us. Yeah. So Turkey right now, like as you said, like maybe 40 years ago, we were just a few hundred Christians coming from Muslim background, but we have over 20,000 people. And I came to Christ like almost 30 years ago. When I came to Christ, there were only a few churches around the country, but we have now 180 churches all around the country, but still we have 25 regions that we have no church. I mean that the work is not done, but still the progress that God made in those years has been tremendous. It's wonderful. So like it's just we are a small church, but it's growing church. I can say that 10% every year we have growth in population and the number of the churches.
Yeah, hallelujah.
Yeah.
And did you have a time to sit a little bit in here?
Of course, I was there in the main session all the time, and I was part of the small groups, and I enjoyed everything. I like speakers, contributors. We had great people. And they presented themselves, and just on the target, they really focused on what we needed. I'm so glad that I was here, and I want to thank you specifically. I wish we had more people. I mean, like everyone from my country, churches, pastors coming and being part of this. But I know that it's impossible.
When we had the opening, you were missing. Yes, because you were going to a very special event for Turkey, where you were very much expected. Can you tell a little bit about this?
Yeah, the last time that the government, the Ottoman Empire, allowed minorities to build their worship place, it was early 1900s, like 1912, 1913, all those years. The government the Ottoman Empire gave just a few years, only a few years, a gap that they can build their churches. Most of the churches that when you tour around Istanbul were built in that couple of years, 6-7 years, okay? Since then, there were no church allowed in the country. But Assyrian Church applied for a building almost 20 years ago. They got the permission 20 years ago, but they were able to finish last week. So our president and the people from Orthodox churches around the world, and me were there, and in that opening, and we had a big celebration for that opening of the church. It was a very historic time.
Yeah. So, and I explained to the people sitting here that this is really an event where you representing the Evangelical Alliance had to be there.
Yes.
And even though this is not an evangelical church that opened, It means a lot to Turkey. It means a lot for the future of all the churches.
Yeah, like please pray because I offer them because it's a wonderful building, like it's amazing. They still had the modern day influence, but also all texture you can feel. And I said that why can't we use this place once a month for our event, like our art service? They said let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So maybe we might use it once a month.
So pray for Turkey, pray for the Christians here, pray for the government of the country. Thank for this unexpected opening that that a new church could be built, and perhaps in some years you can build a Protestant church.
That's our prayers, and that's what we need. And I ask my brothers and sisters around the world, pray for that we will have more freedom. I'm sure we are much better than in any other country in the Middle East, but we still have struggles. So if they can pray that we will have that freedom, and we will have that our own churches, not for the sake of having buildings, but being able to reach out more, being able to stay in the middle of the people and preach the gospel openly. That would be awesome if they can pray for.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.